Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's topic, my God, EDC is continuing to EDC. Every dollar counts, huh? So, you know, everyone's prepping, getting ready for the Super Bowl, which is on Sunday. You know, the game that culminates the entire season of the NFL. And somebody decided to ask Mr. Eric Decosta a question. A question on, can he and will he get Lamar Jackson some weapons? Preferably a big-time receiver on the outside. And this guy had a very interesting answer, to say the least. Now, I know some people are going to defend what he said. They're going to say, oh, Nitro, you know, you're looking into it wrong. You know, he didn't mean it specifically like that, right? But one thing we've learned about EDC is he likes to take his time when it comes to spending money. And the reason why he got the name EDC, it stands for something. Every dollar counts. So I'm going to read this to you from a tweet. It said, Ravens GM Eric Decosta was blunt when asked if Baltimore could afford acquiring a number one receiver for Lamar Jackson this offseason. His answer? Honestly, when you have a big ticket item at quarterback, it makes it more challenging, not impossible. Hey yo, no. I'm gonna kill this real quick. Let me tell you something right now. I have a question. When have the Ravens had a big ticket quarterback? No. I want you to understand this. Do you know what a big ticket quarterback is? A big ticket quarterback is a quarterback that's been paid. A quarterback that takes up a substantial amount of the salary cap. When in the last 5 years has the Ravens had anything like that? When? Please tell me when. You can't answer because we never have. Lamar Jackson has played out the entirety. I will repeat, the entirety. You know that word. Entire with a T at the end of his rookie contract. Isn't that when you're supposed to surround a quarterback with weapons? I think that's how it goes. Am I crazy right now? Am I going crazy, or am I getting screwed around by this organization once again? Tell me. You know what the problem is? This organization is so used to people just believing every and anything that they say and taking it and running with it, you know, and saying, oh, it's Baltimore, and always being given the benefit of the doubt that they're lost in translation. You see, the thing is, all the excuses that have been made, all of that grace period, all of that rope has been used up. See, you know this got to be scary with the Ravens because they're not used to being in a position like this. They're not used to being in a position where the organization will be taking blame for all of the problems. And that's the thing. They've never been put in this predicament. That's why I said this entire situation is new to them. It's foreign. They've never, everyone says, oh, Joe Flacco, but they paid Joe Flacco. They didn't even try to manipulate the cap to keep Joe Flacco's best weapons. They didn't even try. I mean, think about this. You win a Super Bowl. A quarterback puts on an absolute masterclass with certain weapons. And your first inclination is saying, we have to get rid of those weapons because we don't want to spend any more money than we have to because we have to pay him this. All because you refused to pay him early. That's what you did with Lamar. You know what the funny thing with fans, what a lot of fans don't get, is that players are allowed to deal in principle. Let me explain this. When you trust somebody, you ever heard like when you love, like, okay, I'll put this in a better standard. When you love a woman, right? Truly love her, truly trust her. Every guy understands where I'm coming from when I say this. When you truly do, when you don't second guess like, oh, that's where she's going. When you don't second guess when she knows the password to your accounts, passwords to your phone. Not too many guys giving up their password to their phones. They'll give up their password to their accounts, their money, but not their phones. But when you trust a woman with those things, that's when you got to put a ring on it. You remember that one song? If you like it, then you gotta put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Any man gonna be cause he want it. You remember that song? That's what the Ravens needed to do. Because the player proved its worth, his worth. When you have something good, you take care of it. And the Ravens didn't do that. You know what they did? They said, oh yeah, I got it good. But I got it good because I'm good like that. Because I'm a Mac, Jack. I should be on the McDonald's menu as a Big Mac. That's what they thought. How many times did you guys hear multiple times people said, well, this is an organization that wins no matter what? Like they're forgetting how they were or what position they were in before Lamar Jackson showed up. This NFL has changed. Let me tell you something right now. You're going to see it on the thumbnail. They have 4 wide receivers that everyone's talking about right now. I believe they are Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and Michael Thomas. Out of the 4, Michael Thomas will probably be the cheapest because he has to prove that he's worth that contract. So when his next contract is going to be absolutely, laden with like escalators. Because no one believes he can stay on the field. No one believes he can stay healthy. But here's the problem. Most teams would say, oh, I can take that on. No. Because guess what the last thing the Ravens need? An injury-riddled wide receiver. So far, we have a young star at wide receiver that can't even prove that he's a young star because he's been injury-riddled. So you can, on my list, you cannot go somewhere else. Do you know what I like? I like consistency. I like dependability. I like reliability. I used to always say this. When it comes to relationships between people, once you get out of that age 25, you know, when you want to go to the club and you know what I'm saying, and shake it up a little bit. Do you know what the most attractive thing becomes for men and women? The illities. Do you know what the illities are? Have you ever heard of the illities? It's reliability, stability, and somebody that accepts responsibility. Is that a bar? Reliability, stability, and somebody that accepts responsibility. Out of those 4 wide receivers, that's Mike Evans. That's Mike Evans. DeAndre Hopkins is nice. I'm not going to complain if they get him. But Mike Evans is that. Do you know how EDC should have answered that question? He should have said, listen, when you have a quarterback as talented as Lamar, you want to give him every opportunity to be great. And we will do whatever in our power to make sure that he is given the weapons that he not only needs, but he deserves. That's how you answer a question like that. That's how you reaffirm the special talent that you have at the quarterback position. That's how you take accountability, responsibility for all of the problems that the front office, you, EDC, have created. But he tried to kind of share the blame. You know, when you have a big ticket quarterback, it makes it so difficult. All while never having a big ticket quarterback because you haven't paid for one yet. Woo! This front office is really jerking people around. I'm telling you. I'm about to hit you with another William Knife Man. William Knife Man! I'm telling you. If EDC, this front office, this coaching staff, they have to do something that is very difficult for a lot of adults to do. Because no one ever feels like it's their fault. They have to swallow their pride. That's what you have to do. You have yet to surround this young man with anything close to what his counterparts get. The offensive line that Joe Burrow has to deal with, as much as there people are complaining about it, the team spent money to rebuild it. They spent big dollars to rebuild it. Patrick Mahomes, they spent big money to rebuild it. And just like Patrick Mahomes' line, it took about a year. They were okay for that 1 year. And then after that, best offensive line in the league. Because you know what it takes with offensive lines? For them to gel. It takes time for them to become one unit, because it doesn't matter if you have pieces on the offensive line. It matters if they can play like one piece. But you know what the team did? They went out there and they spent money while their quarterback was on a rookie deal. Because you know why? Because you still have money and the flexibility to play with. So why did you not do that when you had the flexibility? When you had the chance? And now you're trying to share the blame. Oh, when you have such an important and expensive, big money, big ticket player, you can't. It's so hard. It's so hard. Lord help me. It's so hard to get some players. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. 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 Yo, I can't take this front office serious sometimes. I really can't. And everyone's like, oh, Nitro. You sometimes you take things too literal. You take things to heart. How would you take it? How should I take it, sir? How should I take it, madam? Huh? People have been telling me to calm down for the last 5 years. That there's no way the front office would fumble this. There's no way the front office would let 5 years go by without surrounding our talented quarterback with weapons. And that they would get the contract done in time. So sorry if I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because like I said before, previous to what I'm saying now, the rope of all of those chances has run out. There's no more length to it. They've burned through chances to rectify their mistakes. I told everybody when this season started, I said the Ravens have no excuses. You decided to use all those 11 picks in the draft. Y'all remember? You remember? Oh, you do. You decided to trade away Hollywood. These are all your decisions. So now you have to live with your decisions. And it seems that you've been choosing and picking very wrong a lot of times. EDC, I think I speak for the majority, because there's still some Raven fans that believe there's nothing wrong the front office can do. But I think I speak for the majority of Raven fans when I say this. Get your act together. Stand up and do your job. Because if you cannot, please go away so somebody else can. And that was another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Hallelujah. Man, thank you guys for watching. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. You know I appreciate that. I love you guys. For everybody new that's watching, please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Talk with me. Open up with me. Pour your hearts out with me. That's just a little pun because you know it's almost Valentine's Day. But just be cordial to the people in there with different views than you. Always be respectful. That's all I ask. And at the bottom of the screen, you will see a QR code. If you would like to donate to the channel, that's the QR code for it. In the description, it'll take you to the CashApp, right? The CashApp, money sign, The Wunderkind Show. So once again, it's The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nitro, signing off. And as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I'm out. Yeah.